Hi, I'm Irving. Welcome to Kato and a Stinging Leprechaun or something like that. We begin with Kato and What's-His-Name heading to a park at night to meet with a gangster that they've had run-ins with before. The weird part is the gangster asked for this meeting. Now we want to know why and what he's afraid of.
Somebody's out to take care of the big racket guys, and you and me are on the list.
How do you know about the list?
Never mind. But I'm not going to be a pushover. And if you go along with me, neither will you.
This guy is trying to tell the Green Hornet that he's a better gangster, essentially. Now, nobody knows who the Green Hornet is. He comes out of nowhere and vanishes back into it. The mobsters are afraid of the Green Hornet, or at the very least they have a healthy respect for how dangerous he is. I doubt they have the same opinion of Mr. Herc. He seems to be the only one who does.
Don't push me around, Hornet. You need me.
I don't need you. I never have needed you, Herc, and I never will. Don't you forget that. Let's go.
Hornet, wait. Listen.
As they examine the body, Kato hears another dart coming and pushes the Hornet out of the way. They hear a door close and see a car take off. They follow in the Black Beauty.
Don't lose him.
No chance.
No chance, especially if he does that. That concludes their excitement for the evening. After the opening credits, Mike Axford wants to know who's bumping off all the rackets bosses in town. Britt says, who cares? Let them take care of each other and the rest of us can sleep easier.
Listen to this. Kelton killed by bow and arrow. Albert strangled with a silk handkerchief.
A garrote.
Yeah, I guess that's what they call it. Then Klinger buys the whole package with a native spear, and Herc a poison dart. They're not dying the way they're supposed to.
The effect's the same.
Reed has a point. Miss Case announces a call on the private line. Britt excuses Mike. Scanlon comes on the scrambler line.
I got what you wanted, Britt. The ID on that accident victim that you chased. You sitting down?
Why? Who was it?
A.J. Clark. A respectable accountant with no mob ties at all.
Well, I knew Clark. He was a member of the yacht club. Nice little guy.
Nice little guy. Really handy with a blowgun. Hey, wait. Herc told the Green Hornet he bought the list. Time to find out from whom. At his old headquarters, his would-be successor is trying to pull things together and establish himself as the new boss.
Some of the knotheads you have to do business with these days.
Those two, for example. His two henchmen try to intervene with predictable results. The Hornet says Herc knew who was out to kill him. I want to know who told him. Boss Hogg here plays ignorant.
Wait a minute.
He's not very good at it.
You've got 10 seconds.
Okay. But I'm only second guessing. Herc got a call from Jockey Tabor.
The tout?
When he's not touting, he's stooling.
I had to look it up. A tout was a person who gives tips on horse races. They'd usually get their info by sneaking around and spying on the horses and their trainers. Needless to say, they weren't very high on the food chain.
Who do they think they're pushing around?
You, obviously, and they're succeeding. They get to the tout's place just too late.
His body's still warm. This is no coincidence, Kato.
That's what I was thinking. Now what?
Shake down the room. Look for a lead. Any kind of lead.
They come up with a matchbook from the Explorers Club. Take us thither, O mighty editors.
I tell you, Crane, this plan of yours has gone too far. We agreed on our list. Then you went and killed Jockey Tabor. Why?
Killing that innocent little man was not on our schedule. He was only a waiter here.
Crane says, remember how until last night there were 5 of us? Tabor got our friend Clark killed.
He was discharged for bookmaking 3 days ago. And at that time, he approached me and tried to blackmail me. It seems he overheard bits and pieces of our conversations. And unfortunately, totaled them correctly.
But how does that figure into Clark's death?
Simple. He found another buyer for the information.
Oh, that means we're all in danger.
Isn't that the game we've always played? We faced the fiercest animals the jungle could offer us, and we're still here.
Except that you had a gun and the animal didn't. I hunted for food all through the years that my kids were growing up, and I make no apologies. The key words there are for food. Once upon a time, I did a lot of duck hunting, but we didn't eat them fast enough, and 3 birds that I had killed spoiled in the freezer and had to be thrown out. I felt so bad I haven't hunted a duck since. That was somewhere in the 90s, I don't remember exactly when. But if I'm not going to eat it, I'm not going to kill it. I've never understood trophy hunting. I knew a guy around that same time who had his living room full of his trophies. The centerpiece was a mountain lion. I was aching to ask him why. I settled for never visiting his house again.
The ushers will now come and take the morning off.
Get out of here! I have got to change the lock on this place. The next day, Britt Reed drops in on the Explorer Club to look into membership.
Well, that's one of the reasons I'm here, Quint. But there's another. Have you been reading about our latest crime wave?
I never miss my copy of the Sentinel.
Then maybe you can tell me what I'm curious about. The strange way the upper echelon of racketeers has been depleting itself. The unusual weapons used.
Odd you should mention that. I was puzzling on that myself just this morning.
He says, I've known everybody here for ages, but I'll look back through the applications and all that and see if I can turn up anything unusual. If I do, I'll give you a call. As quick as Reed leaves, he does make a call.
This is Crane. I want a man taken care of. His name is Britt Reed.
You mean Reed? The publisher? That's crazy.
He says Reed is getting too close to answers. How so? He connected the weapons and the dead accountant. That's not even strong enough to be anorexic. He's got nothing. He's fishing. And Crane is going to swim up and put the fish on the hook for him. That night, Britt is at home at his desk reading about big game hunters. That guy, we finally learn his name is Crocker, first name probably not Betty, said he wasn't set up for a rub-out like this, and obviously he was right. What happened to the exotic weapons and all that? There was plenty to choose from on that wall they showed us, and Crocker goes with choke him? The next sound he hears will be one he's heard before, recently.
Oh, come on, Hornet. You're gonna break me getting that door fixed.
The information I have might make that very unimportant.
He says before he died, Jockey Tabor told me a few things. They may interest you.
Crane, I just had another visit from the Green Hornet.
Never mind about that. What about Reed?
Now, you listen to me. The Green Hornet says I'm on your list.
And you believe him?
He said Tabor told him before he died.
Crane says, I did Tabor myself. No way he told anybody anything. The Green Hornet is up to something. A few moments later, Crocker comes out and gets in his car. The Black Beauty follows. They follow him through several more day-for-night shots while at the Explorers Club, or Crane's estate or somewhere else they don't actually tell us, the mighty hunters are preparing.
Well, the spear trap is set.
Good.
If that doesn't get him, the snare will.
Excellent.
Take a guess where Crocker is going. He's the bait.
What do you think?
Probably the same as you. He knows he's being followed, and that's exactly what he wants.
But does he know that we know that Crane and the others know that he's supposed to know he's leading us into a trap?
What's the plan?
We'll have to play it by ear. Who knows what they have planned for us?
It's not good. We know that.
Neither is that day-for-night shot. We didn't even try that time.
Don't look now, but there's a television camera up above us in that tree. Our presence has already been announced. Let's stick together. Watch out for traps and snares.
The explorers are stalking them with bows and arrows to keep things nice and quiet. They keep shooting and missing, but it's deliberate. They're herding them a certain direction, as if they can't figure that out.
There it is, right in front of us. That's where they want us to go. Now listen. Listen carefully.
Okay, the junior woodchucks had their fun. Now it's our turn.
Freeze! Right there. Well, here's one half of the quarry.
Go ahead. Watch him catch the arrow. Or he can do that.
Look, Hornet, can we make a deal? There's plenty for both of us,
No deal, Crane.
but my position in the community is perfect cover.
For more murders, including mine. There isn't room for both of us.
Hornet! Get me out of here!
Ironic joke achieved. We definitely gave Kato more screen time this episode and a few more lines. It was fun to see him pull out the nunchucks. He doesn't do that very often. But there again, I wonder how hard it was for him to slow them down enough for the camera to catch what was going on, because at full speed he could hit you 3 times with those things before you even felt the first one. The big game hunter who decides to go after the deadliest prey of all, man, was already a cliche. But they put a new spin on it with the guys only taking out major criminals to try and clean up the city. That should have been our cue to make them a tad more sympathetic, sort of anti-heroes who want to do a good thing, but are going about it about as wrong as they possibly could. But to do that, we probably would have had to make another 2-parter, because there was enough action and story in this one that it didn't leave time for that kind of development. There were a couple of extended car sequences, but they were necessary to the story. For a change, very little time was wasted. So I can go with the idea that they're both doing it for the thrill and for what they hope will be glory when they're eventually hailed as heroes who stamped out crime. All in all, this is one of our best efforts yet. Until next time.